Dump it.
What's up everybody, Bueller here again, and today I'm going to do a small video on Apple. So if you guys go back 2 videos or 2 streams ago, where we did the Sunday stream, you guys can actually click on that and see when we charted Apple. We did all the TA routine levels together as a community on the stream, and then this morning on the other stream, the one that's just before this, you'll see us covering Apple, but we didn't add it to our list. We just talked about it for a second because we did talk about it on that stream before, so might as well cover it again. We talked about different important areas for both up and downside, and today I'm going to cover a bunch of smaller price action. So having all of our levels in sync, not even adding my other smaller time frame levels yet, my previous day high, which actually lines up with the previous day open, my previous day low, which is already marked from the bigger time frame level, previous day close, which is might as well be marked there, it's pretty close. And then, of course, my pre-market low and my pre-market high, which are already both marked by those bigger time frame levels. Again, not really having to do a whole lot today for Apple. They kind of just maintain that range. Today, though, and let me bring this over correctly. Hopefully it doesn't screw up. There it goes. You guys can actually see we did take an Apple alert on this. So you had 15 to 24%. We scaled out at 2.35, and then we took the rest at 2.65. So let me show you everything we did. Here's the alert 10 minutes after. We don't trade the first 10 minutes, and I'll go over that again on the chart. But as you can see, we had the entry break below the 165.65 from the watch list, as well as the levels we were talking about. You can see the breakdown here. I'm going to go over it, of course, though. And then you can see we had our close under, we had our reasoning for staying in the trade, why it continued, why we scaled out partially, all that good stuff. It hitting the first target, and then example of the spread hitting between, well, we sold at 2.65, but it did go a little bit farther. So let me show you everything, though, just besides that breakdown from that PDF. And if you want that PDF, just join the community. It's in my channel. But the first 10 minutes, we don't like to trade that. We like to wait until we have good confirmation. I liked the weakness in this candle, so I thought we'd enter on that candle as it was holding in between here. So kind of an early entry, so very risky. Again, not ideal for every trade. We like to wait for the first 10 minutes for a open range breakout, or we wait a few more minutes to see a retest. As you can see, we got that retest move here. What indicates that this was going to hold and give a good probability for sellers to take control back? Not just your indicator. Again, this is the one indicator we like to use, but what else kind of gave you indication? Volume. Volume never had rising from candle to candle to show you that they wanted to retake this dropping candle again, because they need to work to get back to opening price. That's a very strong pivot point to give them chance to this 169.20 range, right? So you can see lowering volume, giving a potential drop, base, drop. Some people call it bear flags, rising wedges, whatever you want to call it. Drop, base, drop. That's what you're seeing. What gave you good indication that it was going to continue lower after that? A new low, it pushing a new low under that recent low there, as well as accumulating volume, giving you good rise. What did you have after that? And my community knows this better than anybody. If you know what the name of these candles are, drop them in the comment section below. But basically, this means indecision, that you need to wait for more info. What more info did you get? You basically just kept getting rejection. There was no buyer reaction to take price higher, so you're basically stuck in your trade, keeping your stop loss, moving it down as much as you can. But better yet, what did it do? It went down and it went towards our target, not just on this candle, but on this candle as well, and the whole base. So perfect chance to take profit all during the day, right before lunchtime on Apple. What else could you have done on this chart, though? And this is what I called out in the chat today. So besides this short position to the downside, we'll leave that. Besides the short position to the downside, what else could you have taken on this chart? As the day progressed and it hit our target, price basically held this area, built up a higher base, so very, very strong base here, as you can see. We'll just highlight it between our level and the new lows created. What other indications did we have for opportunity? We had a rising volume candle close from candle to candle over our 9 EMA, our buy the dip strategy. And if you guys don't know what that is, please click on it. It's a playlist on the channel. But after that, we end up getting a reset candle. What's a reset candle, everybody? We're basically just saying, in a fancy way, grabbing the 50% Fibonacci, we're basically just saying, if this can hold the higher part of the previous candle, the important candle that broke over, it's important because it had rising volume, to break over the 9 to give you that buy the dip after the base was built. So we got a breather candle. If you were to go run on a track, you would want a Gatorade as well. That's all the stock price is doing, just getting a Gatorade, chilling out, and then it's continuing on. You can see, what did we just get, though? Another very indecisive candle, just like we talked on these past 4 over here. So not saying it's going to go down to zero. We're not saying let's go to the moon. We're just saying it might have to slow down soon. And what do you end up getting after that? The slowdown, the big breather. So they end up taking their time on this one. But look at the price that they ended up holding. Do you remember when I came back over here and I grabbed 50% of this candle because it's the important candle? Look what price ended up holding again as price came back down. So not only did I call out this buy the dip, I also pointed out in my channel how you could have also played this for a second position back to the upside. You had a second very same trade. I mean, they are identical in trade setup by the dip. And you see it continued on, ended up pushing through that high, made another high. So I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to do a small video on it because we did take a short position on this as an alert, but then we also continued on looking at it afterwards because of how the market held. My friend Oscar, he was pointing out Microsoft, though it didn't go up as good as Apple, because you can see Apple did it like twice in really good links too. He really liked that this was holding the same base the whole time, so he ended up taking a position as it was cracking over on this 3-bar play. How do we know it's a 3-bar play? Because you have rising volume from candle to candle. This holds the 50%, the halfway point, big fancy way of saying the halfway point, and then you get more accumulating volume with a new high, a 3-bar play, very ideal for another good breakout. Good job, Oscar, and good job, Bueller Buys community. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and drop me a comment below on what you guys want next.